Hey guys, we're here again today at HardRacing, working on our all-new Grom SF project bike, and today we're going to be showing you how to swap out and install the new Ohlins HO611 shock. And this one, as you can see, is a little different than the previous gen shock, the HO424 or 524. This one's a piggyback. This one is a remote reservoir. The nitrogen canister separate, mounts farther up on the bike. Basically, they're still fundamentally going to do the same thing for the bike. The biggest difference with the 611, as you can see, comes with 2 springs and some extra hardware kit to mount the reservoir just on top of the clutch cover. So this one is $50 more than this one, and it weighs about 5 ounces heavier. Obviously, just the design of it, the extra hardware. Now that's obviously not including a second spring, because you're not using 2 springs at the same time. So the questions a lot of guys have is, well, which one can I use? You can actually use both of them on either bike. This one is designed for the SF, but you can use the lighter and less expensive HO424 on the SF as well. We've got one on ours, works fine. We sold a bunch of them, no issues. So $50 less money and a little bit lighter, or you can get this one. Either one will work. They're both great shocks. It just comes down to personal preference. The bonus with this one, it's more compact, no hose, and a little cleaner look on the bike. This one, the reservoir sits on top of the clutch. Some guys may like that, some guys may not. For racers, having a hose is just one more thing that could get cut, yanked, damaged in a crash. And obviously when you're taking stuff on and off, having that in your way. But again, it really, there's no wrong way to go with either one of them. It just comes down to your personal preference. And some of you might be thinking, well, I get 2 springs with this one. That's true, you do get 2 springs. Of course, you can only use one. You only need one. So when you order a shock from us, we custom set it up for your rider weight when you get it. So no matter what, when you get it, it's got the right spring on it, you're good to go. You don't have to mess with any of that stuff. So something to think about and consider, that it's nice to have 2 springs, but if you're paying the $50 more and you only need one, then save the money, use it towards something else. One other thing, with Ohlins, you get a 5-year warranty if you buy it from a US authorized dealer. What that means is these are also getting imported gray market. So if you're going to buy it from somebody, make sure you check with them ahead of time and say, hey, are you buying this through Ohlins USA, or are you getting a gray market? And legally they have to tell you the truth, because if they are getting a gray market, Ohlins USA will not warranty it. They will ask you for the serial number on the side of the box before you ship it in. If it's not one of theirs, they won't warranty it. So this is just something to consider with who you buy it from. You may never need the warranty, but it is nice to know you have it. So take that into consideration. And next we'll show you how quick and easy it is to install this shock.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is remove your seat, remove your back panels, and then this side panel to gain access to your shock. So you want to be careful with this side panel not to damage these little tabs when you're pulling it off, and not to just jerk it off real fast, and then be careful of this airbox tab as well. And again, on the other side, same thing. Be careful of these tabs when you're pulling it off, and your airbox tab. Okay, so the next step is going to be to remove your rear hugger. We've already done so, but what'll happen is that'll get you access to these two nuts that you need to loosen on these bolts. Okay, so now we're gonna loosen them. And you can go ahead and take them off. Okay, so just to be clear, all we're doing right now is removing the nuts, not the bolts. So to remove the top nut, you'll want to just remove this little holder for your keyhole just by unscrewing this little bolt right here. Okay, so now you want to take a floor jack like we've done here and put it up under the exhaust just to raise the bike a hair off the ground so that it will release the tension on the shock, and then we can remove the bolts. And you'll notice because the tire will slide slightly on the concrete like we've done here. So next step is going to be removing the bolts, and just be careful, don't jar the bike as you do this. And that's it. So if you're getting the piggyback shock, all you have to do is turn it upside down and go ahead and mount it up. So that's what the piggyback shock will look like mounted on the bike. Okay, and with the other shock, you're going to mount it like this, with the hose side facing forward. Then you're going to thread the reservoir right behind your master cylinder. So next you want to go ahead and put the mounting bracket like so. You want to take the shorter bolts with 2 washers and make sure that the bracket is facing like we have it here. And one thing to point out, do not forget the blue Loctite on these bolts. That's very important. And next step is to remove this bolt and this bolt off the clutch cover. And the next step is to go ahead and slide the bracket on the reservoir onto that groove. And once you do that, take the screw that's provided, put blue Loctite on this, and go ahead and tighten that down. And before you completely tighten that screw down, you want to rotate your bracket so that you have easy access to the adjuster knob, and of course so you can see your Ohlins logo. And you want to go ahead and use the 2 supplied bolts that Ohlins gives you and mount up your bracket, and making sure to put the spark plug wire holder on the outside. And the next step, you want to go ahead and install the nuts on the backs of each bolt to 34 foot-pounds. Okay, and obviously when you tighten these down, you want to put a wrench on the back side like we have done here to keep it from rotating. So at this point, you can go ahead and lower the jack stand out of the way. So now that you've installed this new Ohlins shock, you're going to experience a much better ride, better handling, better performance, just a completely new bike. this bike will feel like. So if you like the video, like us, just click the thumbs up button. You can subscribe to all of our videos. We definitely will be doing more on the SF as well as other bikes that we do for our project bikes. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, email us, go on our website, hardracing.com, and we'll get you taken care of.